Hi, and welcome once again to episode 32 of Talking Small Press Comics with Steve Keeter and me, Larned Justin. Now be sure and subscribe and then hit the bell notification button so you don't miss any of our episodes. Also, we answer all comments, so be sure and leave a comment. We even answer questions, as long as they're not too hard. I don't know the capital of Idaho, for instance. So, the questions aren't too hard. We'll be okay. All right.
And
There's
send us
Steve.
money. Send us money, please. We need lots
money
and
is
lots
good.
of money.
Money is always good. You can add that to the, yeah, that's always good. So, there's something, I'm noticing something different about Steve. I think you got a haircut, right?
Yes, and they trim my eyebrows too, so it looks.
Oh, your eyebrows. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, okay. I have to admit, okay, I dyed my mustache.
Oh, it is darker. You're right.
It flips up, but I dyed it.
Yeah.
So before it looked different, but now it looks like this.
Yeah, that's much better. It's a little darker and it shows up more.
And you can do this.
Yeah, you can twist it. That's great. Yeah. Okay. Well, there he is, naked.
Sometimes I get a mad urge to shave the stash. And, it saves me on mustache dye. It saves me a little money on mustache dye for a month or two, and then I grow it back.
Yeah, great idea.
Because my mustache is actually gray.
Oh,
my hair's not. So I dyed a mustache to match the hair, but this is a pain in the butt. Sometimes I just want a break, just a naked face without any apologies. And there you go.
Okay.
Here we are.
All right, we are ready. We got comics. Which one you want to do first?
Well, gee whiz.
Gee whiz?
Gee whiz. Let's do that one first. You know what? Let's do something. I'll tell you what. Let's start with Rick Bradford and Poopsheet.
Yeah.
Rick's an old pal.
Oh, Rick has been in small press ever since I can remember. But this is his Poopsheet, and it's a two-sided publication, and there's info, there's reviews of comics, and he says, they're not full reviews, but they're kind of outline reviews. But I thought they were real good. Help me.
You froze up for a second.
Oh, I did? Okay.
You gotta love it. Internet, computer stuff.
No, well, it's cold in here.
That would do it.
Yeah. But Rick, if you don't know, has a database of small press comics. A huge database of small press comics that he maintains.
It's true.
And
yeah, he's been doing this for a long time. He's been promoting small press for at least since. Okay, you know what? I just for this, I did a little research. I went through the stuff that I have, and I found the issue of Poopsheet #1.
Wow, that's cool.
50
Back
cents.
in those days, it costs more than it does now. No price on this.
This is from 1990. If you look on the back, you see an advertisement for an early issue of Tony Lorenz, a Futuro Tierra. And something from Pizzazz Comics here. Yeah, Pizzazz.
Oh, yeah, Pizzazz, yeah.
And with a Steve Shipley cover. That looks like a Steve Shipley cover. Maker. So, this particular issue is only, is one sheet.
Yeah.
Sure enough, a poop sheet. With some cool reviews, including he reviews Tom Fellrath's Heroes Now, Patriot and Strange Times #1. But it's varied. Like I said, I don't have all the issues of Poopsheet, and I will say that there is also a Poopsheet website.
Okay, yeah.
It's comprehensive. Like you said, he has a database.
Yeah.
of comics. I don't think you'll find anything more comprehensive than his particular database. You can
I don't
find
think you
all
would
kinds of
either.
stuff going way back.
He has been doing it for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
other stuff here.
and he has a mini mart. He says right now it's
Right.
on hiatus and it'll be coming back, but a place where you can purchase mini comics. So he does have that also. Um,
hmm
so
He's always
anyway,
reinventing himself, and
yeah.
this is. I noticed this too. This was on a poop sheet from the early 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one
Uh-huh.
on the back cover is total self-indulgence, but he there's an ad for my
Yeah.
former reviewing Skeets Fan Forum and Review, which
Yeah.
gave their artwork. It tells you where you can order, but I don't live there anymore, so I'm not giving
So
anything
yeah, you can't hardly
away.
wouldn't want to send any money there.
Yeah, but there's an ad for that.
Ha.
And the early issues they range like right. This one's a one sheet, but here's one. Oh my goodness, here's one that's several pages long. I think
Oh
this is
wow.
sheet number 4.
Mm-hmm. He must have been
Um,
experimenting, seeing what he wanted to do. Yeah.
mhm. He had other people helping with the reviews at that time too. I know because Skeets Fan Forum and Review was my own review zine, and it was a letter zine and a review zine. Had a lot of letters and comments from people, but I reviewed a lot of stuff, and I did it all myself. I didn't have any help,
Mm-hmm.
and it really does get to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
We always go back and reference Tim Corrigan,
Yeah. Who was
Small
the
Press Comics Explosion.
yeah, tremendous amount of work that he put
Yeah,
in.
how can anyone have
I don't
that
know.
much energy?
I don't know.
But next to Tim, uh, I think Rick
Rick?
is the longest lasting
I
and
think so too.
uh,
Yeah.
most faithful to a small
And you
press.
know, if you send in a comic to his database, he will review it. So, and we'll have all his information down in the description. So it's an excellent place to send something in if you want some publicity for your comic.
Yeah,
So
Rick
anyway,
does a
I
great
enjoy
job.
this.
Yeah,
I
Rick
like
has.
this. I like this format. I even thought about should I try and do something like that, you know, maybe as a recap for our show. But
hmm
I think it's too much work.
That's not a bad idea. That's an
Yeah, I
interesting
was
idea.
thinking
Yeah,
about
it
it. We
is
could talk
work.
about that. We could talk about that. You do part of it, I do part of it, and you do the most of it. Would be the way to do it. All right. So we did that. What do we got next here?
Next we have Bad magazine.
Bad number 2. Look at
Dan
this.
Burke.
Dan Burke. And my light is
Yep.
reflecting off of it. But yeah,
So it looks good to
bad
me.
number 2.
Yep.
Now, if you watched us, you saw bad number 1. And bad number 1 was a complete satire of Mad Magazine. Bad number
Uh,
2 is not quite the same type of a satire. He does use some Mad Magazine things like department. You know, Mad always had a letters department or some other department. He still does some of that. Um, but it is a little different. It's becoming its own magazine, I think. Wouldn't you say, Steve?
right.
It's kind of coming into
Yeah,
its
it's
own.
different. He doesn't have the Alfred E. Newman references,
No,
and there's a
no.
lot of really strange
Well, the
stuff
thing
in this
about
one.
this that I think is so important is that this, if you know of, if you're familiar with Mid Journey, that's a program where you can type in anything you want, a description of anything you want, and it will automatically draw the picture for you. Now that's what uh, Dan has done with most of this issue. These are all
Brilliant.
Mid Journey uh, generated. I believe
Yeah.
most everything in here. But that is so difficult to do to get it into a comic book format. I can't imagine the amount of work because what Midjourney does, you type something in, it gives you 4 pictures to pick from. You pick the one you want, and then you refine it. And he must have refined these things. It's hard to, I think it's hard to do. It's not hard to make a little simple picture, little crazy looking picture. But if you tried to do something like this, with a whole book using Midjourney, that's got to be a tremendous amount of work.
Really, and and most of the issues in full color.
Oh yeah, it's full
Um,
color.
the funny thing is, it stays true to Dan's zany sense of humor and
Oh,
zany
yes.
sense of the absurd.
Yeah,
For
it
instance, you got
has. Go ahead.
H.P. Lovecraft Thulu TV dinners here advertised.
Yeah.
The evil god Thulu in a TV dinner version.
Hmm.
He has different versions. There's a chef there.
And now just look at that chef. Show that again, Steve.
Yep.
That is
Looks like
not
Lovecraft.
easy to do in Midjourney. It's just
And
not.
I believe that's based on HPL. That's how H.P. Lovecraft actually looked.
Hmm. So maybe he was able. I don't know how he did that, but
Yeah.
um, I only practiced. I practiced. I only tried the free version. It gives you a couple of them to do. So otherwise, you have to buy it. And of course, I didn't buy it. But
And the thing is, well, we got Salisbury steak, spaghetti, lemon pepper fish, spinach souffle. Here's all the versions if you want to, microwave Thulu. You
there you
know,
go.
uh, but the thing is, Dan is a terrific artist on his own.
Oh
He
yeah,
doesn't, he doesn't need to do this.
I know.
He just did this. I don't know if it's
I
just
think
for
he did
this
it to show
issue.
what can be done. I got itch my eye. Beg
Yeah.
your pardon. I think he did it to show what can be done with this mid journey. And I think he's taken it farther than anybody else I've seen.
And he pulled out the stops.
Yeah. But here's something. Um, Now, a little bit more on the Mad Magazine side. We have Floyd Flegelman, History of Comics, right here. And Floyd is doing a piece on a guy by the name of Jack Kirby. Now, you may be familiar with a Jack Kirby, but this one is spelled a little different. Kirbee. And
New
Jack
Jack.
Kirby, he has a story in here from
Hmm.
Jack Kirby, done way back in 1975 or something like that. And it's the Titanic 2, The Fate of Jack. Now, right here.
You remember
Uh,
Jack?
yeah,
Jack
Jack,
died in
yeah,
the
well,
disaster
this
at
a
the end of
little
the movie.
different take on Jack dying here
Yeah.
because according
this
to
looks
Jack
this
Kirby,
looks this looks more like Dan's actual artwork
oh, I
here.
think so. This one is, I think, drawn. Maybe some of the backgrounds were done with Midjourney, and then he drew characters and put them in. I'm not sure, but it looks basically like his normal artwork,
Hmm.
like that.
Yep. Yep.
But
That's
according
Dan. And
to
Dan is a superb talent.
yeah, but Flegelman, who is doing an article on Jack Kirby, and oh, by the way, it does say here, um, New Jack, a being with cosmic power that never left his living room. We'll never know what Jack had planned for issue 9 and beyond. Never left his living room.
So anyway, Jack survives the Titanic, and he guess what? He goes on a Titanic 2 adventure. What the heck?
Yeah,
I'll try that again, see if it works out this time.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
though he died at the end of the
The
first
first
one,
one killed him, but
somehow
he's back.
he's back.
And now Flegelman gives you a full report, and it's continued from here on page 76, way back
Right.
in the back of the book. right here. So you can see it's extensive.
Yep.
And you can read all that and follow Jack Kirby. Also, I liked, and again, this is done with Mid-Journey, but this is you'll recognize Batman.
This is my favorite, Batsman. This is my favorite strip in the issue.
Batsman, B-A-T-Z.
Yep,
M-A-N.
Batsman. And this is very much in Dan's own style.
But once again, a lot of this is done with Mid-Journey. I can tell by looking at it. If you look at this panel right here where my finger is, that's done with Mid-Journey. You see that?
How does he combine the two styles?
I don't know. It's got to be a lot of work. I don't know how he does it. I really don't. Yeah. I don't have a clue. But
Batsman loses his keys. He says, "Computer,
yeah,
find my keys." And the computer says they're in your top desk drawer or something like that. And he says, "Best $10 million I ever spent on that computer." $10 million to help him find his keys. The Mysterious Batsman.
Yeah. And it's by Slob Kane.
Slob Kane.
Slob Kane. Story and art by Slob Kane. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, boy.
So there's a lot of funny stuff in this.
Yeah, it's very funny. We don't want to give it all away because
not a straight, not like Mad magazine as much as the first issue was.
No,
I will say.
Although this is like it.
Yeah, I mean this is all new to me. This is I can't even approach this. I have
the Mid-Journey thing.
Have that kind of knowledge, doing that stuff on the on the internet or whatever on a computer. Yeah. Actually, I've been drawing something. I'm drawing something. These are very rough sketches, but just to show you what I do, I'm drawing stuff on a piece of a Bristol board.
On what? Bristol board? Oh, my favorite. Yeah. Little light for the video here. Let me see. Kind of light.
That's Eggman.
Oh, you can tell by his head.
Eggman.
Yeah.
This is a sketch. So it's a character I created back in 1972 for Arm number 1. And but
he's coming back.
Eggman's returning.
The return of Eggman.
Despite the fact that in Arm number 1, he fell off a cliff and was smashed to pieces. But if Jack can come back,
it's a little like Humpty Dumpty, right?
Right. Because I think the last, I do have a reprint. Oh, what the heck? Just hang on a second.
All right. Anyway, I'll show you the back cover of this. Look at that.
Arm number 1 came out in 1973. I know we're digressing all over the place, but this is something I published back in 1973, and it was the first small press comic of any real substance that I ever published. And it was also BPP zine, which later became the UFO. But Eggman originally appeared in this in 1973. So I'm reviving the character.
Has he ever appeared?
Years later.
Has he ever appeared since 1973 anywhere?
I believe there was another strip that Chuck Robinson wrote. It's not in this issue. It might have been in maybe an Arm number 2 or something. I'm not really sure,
Okay, well,
if there was, that was it, because he hasn't appeared in all these years. I'm doing this especially for Jim Main, because Jim is publishing Pazit, his flagship zine, Pazit number 50. Which has been around just as long as Arm has. So it's a special issue, and
so you're going to have a Eggman story in there. Great.
Yeah, he wants to have as many of the original people and all kinds of talent. Jim's he has a lot of great talent. A lot of talented people contribute to his books.
I know. Yeah.
And this is special issue number 50 that'll be out very soon. And I'm going to contribute to that. My work's not great, but It'll be
Oh,
fun to
cool.
just
Cool. As long as you can put the
start
Eggman back
wherever.
together after he cracked up, that's good.
Yeah. Maybe I should explain what happened. Somebody had super glue or something. I don't know, but
Hmm. Well, super glue wasn't invented in 1973, so it took until
well, darn.
2022 to put them back together, right?
Yeah, I guess. Maybe it's I know what it is. It's an alternate universe. It's a
Oh,
multiversion.
hmm.
Multiverse.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go. Character like Eggman, a fragile, seemingly fragile character, has to
Yeah,
have a multiverse version that's not quite as fragile.
yeah, yeah. You're right. If he's going to be a superhero, um,
Yeah.
I
If you're an
mean,
egg,
an
he
egg,
literally is an egg head. He's like
just the
humans
head.
from just the head, so he's like an egg head.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But we were
let's hope that he's cracked up to what he should be or whatever. Yeah.
there.
Okay.
You go.
Okay. So anyway, getting back to this, of course, we'll have all his info in the information down below, and I think you have to get. I think he distributes through Amazon, doesn't he, Steve? I
I
think he
think he does
distributes. I
too.
think so.
I think he
But anyway,
does
we'll
too.
have the info down below.
Dan is one of the finest talents. I mean, he's one of the people I've known for the longest. In fact, Dan originally ordered number one. He has a copy. Not this is the reprint. Okay, this is the
Mm-hmm.
recent reprint that I did. But he has a copy of the original number one, and it was the first small press comic or zine that he ever ordered.
Oh,
So
wow.
in a way, 50 years later, I am responsible for
I
this
can
because
see that.
Dan wouldn't have
He
gotten
wouldn't
into
have
it.
done. He wouldn't have done this without looking at
Yeah.
So I don't know the price. I know it's 76 pages. There is a barcode on the back, but I can't read it. And I don't see a price. And I don't remember the price of the first bad magazine either. But
Dan
anyway,
will send it. Just contact Dan. Darn, I
yeah,
wish I had.
contact them and go from there.
I'm just looking to see if he sent me a message or anything, but no, I don't see a message. So whatever it is, well worth it.
Oh yeah.
Um,
It's a
again,
little
I will
different
say,
size, a little different size too. His other one was great big, and
yeah,
this one
a little
is
bit smaller.
this is bigger than a digest size, but
Mhm.
I don't know what size you call that. But anyway, very nice.
Oh, I can tell you how big it is.
Okay, he's got a ruler. How do you operate that?
It's old school, man.
Oh,
Look, this one is 6 inches by 6 by 8.
8 by 6, 6 by 8. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right, nice size.
It'll fit quite handily in your mailbox
Yeah,
and
in your hand also.
in your hand.
Yeah.
Now, I would say again, um, the computer generated artwork and all this stuff, this is fantastic. Uh, quite honestly, my preference is to see Dan do his own artwork and not the computer stuff because he's so good.
I know he is. He's really,
He's so good.
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this still is pretty. This is really awesome anyway. And I would
Hmm.
say order it anyway. He's a great talent, and whatever he does, um,
I
it,
did see him advertising number 3, and I think again it's going to be completely different. So,
mm-hmm. But
uh,
he's always evolving. He's
yeah,
always I've
yeah.
seen him grow over the years. His
That's
artwork.
what it takes. Experimental stuff, and this is
Yeah,
definitely experimental, but it's a finished experimental. You know what I mean? It's well
right.
done.
Well, it is
Yeah,
impressive. It is
yeah,
totally impressive.
yeah.
This is one heck of a zine. So a lot of strange stuff
Yeah,
in
look at
here.
that. Yeah, yep, yep.
But this is the bad cover. These are the models that were considered
Yeah,
for the
for the
cover of
cover.
this zine.
Yeah.
So
See
you get
that?
an idea.
Now that's
This
what Mid Journey does. Yep.
There you go.
All
All
right.
right, Dan.
That was Dan. Now we got Joe Carrales and a co-conspirator, Ken Bailey. Joe and Ken Bailey have come up with Energy Girl. Now, most of the art in here is by Ken Bailey, but there's part of it Joe does, Joe Carrales.
Right, the beginning and the end are by Joe Carrales.
Yeah, yeah. And
you remember we talked about him last
we
time.
had he was in our last
right.
episode, and there it is. And there's some of that story is in here, is in this book about the two girls that are superheroes.
Right. They start out in the mailroom of a newspaper.
Right.
But things develop.
Yeah.
Somehow, and it's recapped. It's recapped in this issue. Where they met an alien.
This is the part where they met the alien. It's in this issue. And they became superheroes from meeting the alien, and I think they killed him accidentally.
Somehow he died.
That's the way it goes, you know. I mean, sometimes things like that happen. So they bumped him off, and I don't think they meant to, but they did.
Yep.
So the idea here, if I understand it right, they are working for this newspaper, and they're reporters. But since they found out they're superheroes, they have been asked to go and train at a superhero, what would you call it? Kind of a name for it.
Superheroes. But the thing is, the U.S. government takes over. Once they found out these people have superpowers, one of them has powers similar to Supergirl, and then the other one can transform into
a cat.
Any kind of a cat. Little cat or a big cat, like a mountain lion or whatever. She can
any go into
that. But the government takes over.
Yeah, and there's a superhero called Energy Girl that does do training for superheroes. So the idea was to send the girls to her to learn the proper way to be a superhero. If I understand this right, I think that's the story.
That's it. Training and superhero training.
Yes.
And here we are. Here's Marie. She's in training. She's picking up a Jeep here.
Yep. Picks up a Jeep.
Yep. So Energy Girl has awesome powers, strength and speed and all that stuff. And it turns
this
out
is
Marie
full color and everything. I mean, it's completely full color. This is a sample of Ken Bailey's artwork, which is very similar to Joe's. So the story flows. It's very similar artwork, and a tremendous amount of work.
The difference. I got. This is Joe's artwork, okay?
Yeah, and then you take a look at
Ken's artwork.
Now
Ken does this thing where he puts a white
line around it. I'm not a fan of the white line. I'll be honest with you. I don't know why it has to have a white line around everything.
It could be just to make it stand out from the background.
Well, it almost to me looks like it was cut out and pasted on there, and I know it wasn't. That'd be a tremendous amount of work. But anyway, I'm not a fan of the white line, but that doesn't. What's the difference? I don't care.
That's his style, and this is a great panel right here. This is terrific artwork.
Yeah, that's nice. I do have one other comment, and I'm going to show you. This is on page 10, Steve.
Got it.
Once you see right in the middle of the page, there's two yellow blocks that kind of tell the story. You see that? Okay, now if you read the yellow blocks, I'm going to read them. Maybe you can show it on the screen.
Okay.
It says, She's been a superhero for 30 years. She'll have no use for the likes of us. The other block says she's probably already sized us up in her mind and found us wanting. Why did we ever agree to do this? And now if you look down in the next, right below it, in that panel, right below, let me read you that. Someone like that will never put up with us for long. She'll chew us up and spit us out. We'll be rejected and sent back to Premont on the very first day. I wish now that I had never agreed to this job in the first place. Now that is redundant. I mean, why would you put that in the 2 yellow blocks and then have her repeat it again?
Well,
that's just more work for you. I mean, I don't get it.
Well, there's a lot of description in here. There's a lot of description.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Roy Thomas in a way.
Mhm.
There was a lot of description in the comics that he wrote. They had the captions and they had a lot of dialogue.
Uh-huh.
Not everyone's cup of tea, you know.
Yeah,
but
I'm
a lot
just
of
saying
great
it
work
just seems
was
like
done.
a comic book is a lot of work anyway, but if you
Mhm.
do that and it's kind of redundant, I would just have the girls say that. Why
The
put it in the
idea
yellow blocks?
for a great comic book artist like Kirby, Ditko, any of
Hmm.
the greats, they remember they used to draw without dialogue. They drew the story just from a suggestion from Stan Lee. Okay, we're gonna have the king or whoever's the villain, the Green
Hmm.
Goblin, and they would draw the entire story without words.
Hmm.
And you have to be able to follow the action from panel to panel to panel to panel. That's the mark of a great comic book storyteller.
Hmm.
A lot of artists have this talent. I
Hmm.
believe that these guys have this talent.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that all those words are necessary.
And
I
that's
think
what I think. I'm not trying to be critical because heck, I don't know anything about it. But I mean,
mhm.
it's a lot of work to do these and you know, saying the same thing twice, right?
Right.
I mean, what
I would that if that
wouldn't
would be
do
a
that?
suggestion, I would say
Yeah.
eliminate some of the captions, eliminate some of the dialogue, and
Right.
let the panels speak
Let
up
it
for
flow.
themselves.
Let it flow itself. You
And I'm
know,
saying this to a
but
couple of really talented guys who we really admire. I'm just saying that that's
yeah.
the way
Oh, and
we
it's
look
not
at it.
that. It's just
You know,
um I'm just saying, you've got enough work doing the comic without doing double work. That's all.
it's a
Because I
lot of
know what it
lettering,
takes to do a comic, and it's a lot of work.
right?
It's much more work than doing an oil painting or a watercolor or anything. It just is a lot more work. So
Some great panels in here, though. I love this. I love this page. There's some kind of
that
secret
would,
base
yeah,
installation. I mean,
that's the
some of this
base.
artwork
Yeah.
is really nice. This is Ken Bailey here.
Hmm.
There's the other
That's a cat, which turned into a cat.
turned into a tiny cat.
Yeah.
I forget their names at the second, but there's some really cool stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, I would recommend this to anybody. You know,
There's a character they're introducing here, Alan Kachet, Alan Kolchak.
yeah, I don't think I could pronounce it either. I remember that page.
Alan Kolchak. Yeah. But they have
Alan
they're
Kolchak.
just introducing that character, tells you a little about him, and he's in the story at that point.
Uh-huh.
And but
Some
anyway,
call him a relic. Some call him an old coot. He
yeah,
is something of a fixture at Area 53. Not Area 51, it's Area 53. This is an entirely different thing.
yeah.
Um, but
And
yeah, they
and
got
the
some
other
great
thing you got to
characters here.
remember in this story, it originates in 2009, but this part of the story is in 1947. It
That's
goes back.
right.
It goes
That's
back.
right. It goes back in
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it goes back in time. The girls go back in time, and I don't even know if they know they went back in time.
Because the Wonder Kitty goes on an adventure.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
gets upset because the training is all focused on her pal. What is it, Marie?
Marie.
Marie,
Yeah,
she seems to be the favorite
yeah.
of Energy Girl. She's training her, and Wonder Kitty gets a little upset and
Yeah.
she wanders off, you
Yeah.
know, and she gets involved in her own adventure,
Yep.
which carries the rest of the issue. And that's, you know, that's really, to me, that's really when the issue really took off.
Yeah. When that happened, that part of the
Yeah,
story, yeah,
that was
yeah.
exciting. I mean, she ends up on an airplane here, you know, like I say, in 1947. Uh,
Here's a picture of Ken right there and Joe. Right there.
Joe is an amiable looking guy. I'll tell you that. Joe, yep.
Yeah.
He's
But
just a
you
little.
know what? This is issue number 40 of Energy Girl, which just
Yeah.
amazes me.
It says started
Feb-
in 2004.
yeah, February of 2022 is when they drew this, but
Uh-huh.
issue 40. And in case you don't see that there, it is on the bottom of every single page in yellow at the bottom. It tells you
Right. Yeah,
every
well,
page.
except for this page, but anyway,
Yeah,
and it looks like they have they have you know, biographies of the two creators at the end.
yeah,
Ken Bailey has been writing and drawing comic book stories as a hobby since the early 1960s.
amazing.
Energy Girl dates from 2004. J.E Carrales III is an educator, a mariachi
Yes,
musician, which is interesting. Civil
and
Air Patrol
Civil Air
officer.
Patrol, which
Mhm.
I think a lot of this story comes from the Civil Air Patrol.
There you go. From his
Is what
own
I think. I think
experiences.
Ken may be involved in it also.
Yep.
And Ken can really draw an airplane. I mean, really nice, very nice.
Definitely, definitely.
But I think their involvement in the Civil Air Patrol kind of helped with their storyline.
Yep.
So
And at the bottom, they got a technical consultant who
yeah,
is a military guy,
hmm
and that's David
Martini,
Martini,
David
U.S.
Martini.
Army veteran who's been involved in World War II living history and reenactment events. Retired Air Force and Civil Air Patrol, not Civil War. He would be pretty old by now.
Civil War is what I was in. Yeah,
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I got there right at the end, you know.
I was there from the beginning.
Anyway, all together, we have an excellent package in
Yep.
beautiful full color, and uh, please don't take our minor criticisms.
Oh, I'm not. I wasn't trying to
Don't
be
take them too
critical. I
seriously.
was trying to be helpful.
Right. I was just saying, you know, there's certain things, you know,
You know, don't make
and,
yourself more work than you need.
as good as you are, you can always be better. And you know, I'm 66 years old, and I've been doing these comics all my life. And you know what? My lack of practice has made me less of a comic book artist. I'm not as good as I used to be, but I'm a better writer because I've been doing more writing.
Yeah, yeah.
And but you're always learning and growing and developing. And
Well, if this
you
is
can.
number
Mhm.
40, I mean, wow, that's amazing. Number 40.
So we do
That's,
recommend this. We do recommend this.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, absolutely. I was going to look here. Is
What's the
there a
price?
price on this? I forget. I don't see the price.
Yeah.
Oh, once again,
Have to see if I've got
it might say in here,
everybody.
but I don't see it, and I don't have a page count, but I would say it's 32 to 40 pages at least.
Yep.
So that's a solid comic book, you know,
Check out Poopsheet. Check out these two books.
and have fun.
And if you don't know the price, just check out the just contact these guys, and you can get it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe Bad is on Amazon. You're right about
I
that.
think Bad is on Amazon. Right, right.
So,
So, I think we've just about wrapped up this episode. And the thing is, Zoom, my version of Zoom is free, so it's only 40 minutes long, and it looks like we're going to end right at the 40-minute mark.
less than 1 minute.
Less than 1 minute left. So
Adios, folks.
adios. We will see you next time. Hi, and welcome to episode 33 of Talking Small Press Comics with Steve Keeter and me, Larned Justin. It's been a while since our last episode, and that's because we haven't had any comics to review. So if you're a comic creator and you'd like to promote your comics, send Steve and I a copy, and we'll certainly get you on the show. So, and don't forget to subscribe, leave comments, and things like that. So I don't know where Steve went, but wait a minute. Steve isn't even here. Who is this? Frank?
Hello.
Hi. Where in the heck is Steve? Because we got a show to do here.
Well, I had a surgery. It was like a beauty surgery to make me look better.
Oh, you are Steve?
Yeah.
Well, you don't look quite the same.
Well, I went to a dermatologist. I said, I want to fix the wrinkles in my face, and they fixed it. So
it's not, I mean, I don't want to, it's not terrible, but it just does not look like, in fact, you don't even have the mustache.
Well, darn.
It's
I spent $20 for this.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, I'd get my money back on that one. Yeah.
Okay. I got this. I got to get this off.
Okay. Go ahead. All right. Let's get serious now. Get that off. Just take it right off. Just pop it off. Because, I mean, what the heck? No. Gee whiz. There. There he is. Holy mackerel.
Whoa, my hair's a mess.
Hair's a mess now. He's got to go comb his hair.
Yeah, I can't go online like that. I don't want anybody to see this.
No.
Let's spiff up.
There you go. Now you're looking pretty good. Now you look a little more like Steve. I mean, you got a touch of that green, but most of it went away.
Oh, there's the stash. It's coming back.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. I look beautiful. It's for darn sure.
Very, very handsome.
Hey, I bought I told you, but I bought the mask not for Halloween. It was like the day before Halloween, and I was on Amazon, and I saw this mask, and I thought, that is really cool.
That is a nice one. That is a good one. I
got to order this.
Yeah.
It's like $60.
Yeah.
I knew it wouldn't be here by Halloween, but I had to have it.
Yeah, I think it's a good one, though. I mean, it's a good-looking mask. I think it's worth the $60. That's for sure.
And I got it for next Halloween anyway, right?
Yeah, right. Or anything else in between.
Or whatever.
We want to entertain people with.
Right. You haven't seen the last of the mask.
I'm sure of that. That I am sure of. So we got some comics to review. Which
I
one?
I want to mention something else. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Right now I'm being super self-indulgent.
Good.
And it's okay.
Whatever that means, that's good.
Okay. I'm at work, and a customer appreciates us so much. She gave me this shirt. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's America's Funniest Home Videos, which we're part of.
You remember that?
Yeah.
This was in the plastic, but that was years ago. It was like right at the beginning of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And but somebody had this, and it was in the plastic. It had never been opened, and they gave it to me at work.
Well, great.
And it looks cool.
I think it's great for the show. Yeah.
It's like brand new.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with comics, but has something to do with videos.
Yes. Okay.
How much time have I wasted already?
Most of it.
Yeah.
Let's do a comic,
You bet. We got like 3 here.
Yeah. Go ahead. Pick one.
All right.
Which one? Same one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Tales of the Broken Bee by our friend Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson at his best.
Now, this is a Western, but it's science fiction. So if you like science fiction and you like cowboys,
yeah,
this is the one right here.
I mean,
Number 3.
Splash panel right there. The splash panel.
There you go. That's the Automan, isn't he?
Automan.
Automan, I think.
Super interesting because it is a sci-fi Western. I mean, others like Steve Shipley's out there doing Space Sheriff, which is also a sci-fi Western. This is kind of cool.
But Larry's is different. Yeah, Larry's is
different.
Yeah. But, yeah, the cowboys, they don't quite realize what's going on here. Yeah. And they kind of fall into a trap. There's a scientist here. Let's see if I can find this guy.
Here's where they fall into the trap right here, these guys.
Yeah, and you see the scientist, the bald-headed guy?
That's him.
He's the guy that's come up with this Automan.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to look for his name is Dr. Meccano. How do you say that? Meccano.
Dr. Meccano or Meccano.
Meccano.
Meccano. I said Meccano. That sounds good.
Meccano. Dr. Meccano. And he's the guy that came up with the Automan.
Mm-hmm.
But the Automan, he's using not for the best purpose in the world. I mean, he's got the Automan, which could have been great, but he's kind of, I think he's a little nuts. Well, to tell you the truth.
I mean, he does stuff like the guy at the beginning of the story is on a horse. That would be Cowboy Billy de Groot.
Mm-hmm.
I am Groot, but it's de Groot. Gets knocked off his horse at the beginning.
Yep.
And here we go. It's kind of a steampunk, Western, science fiction combination. And here we have this robot with steam coming out of the top of his head.
Yeah.
And he stumbles back to town, and the other guys, his friends, they don't really believe him. They have to
so they go. They go kind of looking for it and looking for the guy he's talking about, the Automan, and this guy captures him. Yeah.
They get
the
captured.
Mad scientist guy captures him.
Yeah.
So
he controls the Automan. He's got a little like a keypad or something that he goes dit dot dot dot.
Yeah, he can make the Automan do what he wants, and because the Automan doesn't care, he'll do whatever that guy says.
Yeah, he's just a robot.
Yeah. So anyway,
these guys are in jail or in prison.
Well, he put them in there. He put them in. He captured them. So the thing is, we don't want to give away, but they have to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want to give the whole story away because we've given we've given half of it away. But the end,
okay.
The end, we don't want to give away. How the heck did they get away from the Automan? Gets pretty exciting.
He has a daughter named Eva, Dr. Meccano, and she's kind of torn. The guys are in the
she's not.
The guys in the jail are trying to tell her, you got to let us out.
You got to help us.
Your dad's crazy.
Yeah, well, you don't like to say that to his daughter, but that's,
I know. I thought that when I was reading.
That was a mistake. Yeah.
But
anyway.
See that things aren't going, in a happy way.
No, they're not. And she's not so sure that she's going to let those guys out.
Yeah.
So you have to find out. You have to read this in order to find out what happens. Because we're not going to tell you.
Larry's artwork,
at least I'm not,
always is superb. And I hope is that showing up okay?
Yes, it is. And Larry's art is very good. Yep.
Yeah, but it's in full color.
Yeah, that's what's nice. Full color. I don't know if it has a page. Yes, it does. It's page, I think it's got 26 pages, which is great. Then he's got a mail column.
Letter column, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mails of the Broken Bee. And the cost of this is $2,000. I don't know what the cost is.
$1,000.
Yes.
It looks like $6 postpaid.
Okay, I didn't see that, but that sounds about right.
Front cover at the bottom. You can order by PayPal to Larry. And this is something I've seen this before. In some of Larry's publications over the years, there was like this newspaper, sort of a newspaper
from the Old West
newspaper.
Yeah,
every Saturday.
Yeah,
and he's published stuff from this before. This is
I've seen it. I've seen it before also. Yeah,
from the late 1800s. And just some pretty cool stuff.
It's, very neat, and it fits right in with the Western theme. You know, that's where when he does Tales of the Broken Bee, I think that's when he puts those in. So,
and that's fascinating. I've read those before, and
very cool.
There's the back cover.
Yep, with the Automan and the guy on his horse. Right. What's the guy's name on the horse again? I forgot.
De Groot. De Groot. That would be Billy De Groot.
Okay.
But they got some interesting characters.
Yeah.
And the way they talk is they talk in like old Western lingo.
Yeah, which is cool.
If you slack off, Sam will make sure you have a date with the whipping post for sure. Yeah, I mean, they got one guy that was like Fat Freddy or something like that. And, and they want him, he has to do his job, and they're telling him, if you don't, you're going to the whipping post. That's a heck of a thing to say to somebody.
Well, I mean, that's the way it was.
Yeah, maybe things were a little bit tougher back in those days.
I would think so. You know, you're not going to get away with some of the stuff you get away with today back then.
Oh, and there's something else. This is interesting because in order to you have people mining some sort of, I think it's a gray material, which powers the steam machine, which powers the robot.
Yeah, he needs slaves to do that.
Yeah, and he's got slaves, and the slaves are
Indians,
Native Americans.
Yes, they're Indian, Native American and he's got them enslaved.
So this guy's a real jerk.
Yeah, he's a bad egg.
Yeah,
bad egg with a robot.
I'll tell you what, this is one entertaining comic. I mean,
you guys, this is really worth it. A lot of fun. Great comic.
Worth every penny of it. $6. I think that's a steal.
I think it's full color. It's full color. You know. Yeah.
One of the finest creators in the Small Press Network, and Larry's been doing stuff for 50 years.
Yep.
And the amazing thing is he just keeps getting better. We got the proof right here.
Yeah. So we'll have all the information on how you can get this down in the description of the video. So you want to be sure and pick one of these up.
Yes, indeed.
And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'll put it over there. All right. What do you got next?
Okay. Ditkomania.
Ditkomania. Now, this is not a comic book per se. This is a zine. This is, I mean, there are illustrations in it, but basically, it's pretty much, there's a nice illustration, but most of it is like this.
A lot of text, a lot of stories.
A lot of text.
Particular issue is dedicated to the women of Steve. It says Ditko's women, so women in his comics.
Yeah.
And this is published by Rob Imes originally, and this is issue number 97. Do you believe it?
That's amazing.
97 issues. This book has been around for decades.
But there's something right here. Right here, look at this, if I can get it. It says that issue 97, but is really 177. See that?
Does he say that?
Yeah. He says that the first printing, this edition, is 177. Oh, I see what it is, of 250 copies. Beg your pardon. I said, yeah,
he numbers each copy.
He numbers each, so you get a numbered copy.
You got number 177 of
that's where I'm.
250 copies. But originally this Ditko-mania was published by Rob Imes.
Yeah.
He was a member of the UFO back in the 80s, and way back then he was doing the early issues. I still have some of the early issues of Ditko-mania. This is a zine for Ditko fans, and every issue, 97 issues, you'd think they would have run out of ideas by now.
97 issues about...
How much can you say about Steve Ditko, but they keep finding more stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
And Rob Imes took over somewhere along the line. And,
you said Rob Imes. Hold it. You said Rob Imes.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, you said Rob Imes started it, but
I'm sorry. Bill Hall started it.
Okay.
Bill Hall was the original publisher, and sometimes I stumble over words. It's just
it's unimportant to get it right.
So Bill Hall originally published this. I did a comic strip a long time ago that was in a UFO newsletter. I don't think it ever appeared anywhere else, but it was kind of a joke comic where the Ditko characters were coming after Bill Hall.
Oh.
Somewhere Ant-Man dropped in, and Bill Hall said, "Wait a minute, Ant-Man, that's a Kirby creation. What are you doing here in this story?" But that was a while back.
Yeah. Anyway, I got a confession. I don't know much about Ditko at all. I was never a superhero comics fan. So Ditko, great artist, I can see that, but
not only did he co-create
Spider-Man, right? Yeah, Spider-Man.
Strange. He did work for Creepy and Eerie. There's a story in here, Ditko Nude, or Naked Came to Strange Tales by Michael Hoskin, where he examines some of Ditko's early black and white art, and art was published in color, but he has it here, the original in black and white. Now, Ditko also did work for Creepy and Eerie, scary magazines back in the 1970s, and it was some of his finest work.
This is right here. This is what's referred to on the cover in this issue, Ditko's Women. Well, here is the article, Ditko's Women, the early years. So that is in there.
And let me see here. Okay. It says here's an article, Steve Ditko Women. He talks about the women that they were strong women and stuff. He says, moreover, Ditko, he was revolutionary in how he approached his relationships with women. Before the Me Too movement, he viewed women as individuals deserving of respect and with a fundamental right to self-determination.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's good.
Strong women.
And you can read the whole article in here. And if you're a Ditko fan, I don't know why you wouldn't want to get this. This has got everything in it, all kinds of stuff.
And if you Marvel comics in the 60s, you're a Ditko fan. Interesting also, there's this guy, Thomas Simmons. He wrote an article called Steve Ditko, My Socratic Mentor. And apparently there was an issue of What If, the imaginary sort of title, What If This Happened, What If This Happened, the Ditko artwork. And he sent a letter to Steve Ditko back in 2011, he says. Right, and that's Ditko on the left there. I'm not sure who inked that. It tells you, but I'm getting cataracts. Anyway, Ditko.
Inside joke, folks.
Pat Redding. Looks cool. It was a rare, I think this was in the 70s when he rarely published. He did very little work for Marvel, He was once a major force in Marvel. Then he went over, he went to Charlton and did some stuff for DC and everything, but he came back to Marvel, a little bit.
Yeah.
And, okay, but let me see what we got here. My Socratic info.
So anyway, this is
forgot where I was going with that one. Isn't that something?
Well, that's when you get old. That's what happens.
Yeah, what happened was he wrote letters to Ditko, and he was asking about his approach, I think, to as regards absolute truth.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a discussion, and what this guy did, Thomas Simmons, he took those letters and broke it down to make it look like an interview. Questions and answer, where he would ask Ditko questions,
mm-hmm.
And Ditko would answer.
Oh, okay.
Ditko's very literal about the truth. He doesn't care about somebody else's interpretation of the truth. The truth is the truth. That's it.
Yeah.
And again, Ditko says, history is someone's record of believed, claim, or actual events. History is not a teacher, no more than a newspaper, a math, grammar, logic book is a teacher. That's anyway. There's a lot of stuff here, but it's an interesting discussion.
Yeah, that would, you'd have to read that and kind of think about that and form your own opinion. And that'd be the fun of this, you read it and see what you think. But this is 350. Not bad. I don't know how many pages it is, but it's 350.
Oh, it's totally worth it.
Yeah, I think it's worth that.
Listen to this. He asked Ditko, says, what is truth then? Ditko says, and Ditko was brilliant. He was brilliant. He thought through everything he did. He said, truth is the recognition of reality. Reason, man's only means of knowledge, is his only standard of truth. In the realm of propositions, there is only one basic epistemological distinction: truth versus falsehoods, and only one fundamental issue: by what method is truth discovered and validated? Now, I don't think that way. That's complex, but really, he's breaking it down. What he's doing with complex words, he's breaking it down to something simple. Truth is truth. You can't change the truth. You can't alter the truth. No. It is what it is.
Yep.
Whoa.
Very good. So, a lot of the words are too big for us, but you may be able to.
We don't know those big words.
We don't have any big word vocabulary. So.
It's a great zine. And kudos to Rob Imes for another terrific issue, number 97. Good
97, God. That's amazing. And you get a numbered issue, so that's great. For 350, you can't go wrong, I don't think. So, next up is...
You get this card from Tom Cherry?
Oh, I may have, but I don't have it in front of me. I think he always sends me I know what it was, Steve. The post office decided to put ink all over the back of my copy.
Oh.
So it's no good. But you can show them your copy.
Yeah, I can read it to you in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Lord of the Flies. What did you get for Halloween, boys? A conch shell. And then a spear. And the one on the bottom says, I got a rock. And you can see the rock fell on like Charlie Brown, only all his feet is all that's sticking out. And
Tom Cherry.
Tom, he just sent this out.
Oh, yeah, Tom. I met Tom at Space years and years ago. Since the day I met him, he has sent me a card like that almost every month. And he's an actor. Tom Cherry is an actor. He does local theater. He has a radio show, old-time radio show. And he does local theater, I think, in Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. So, he's a talented guy and a funny cartoonist. So,
I appreciated getting that, and that kind of made my day. It's something that make you smile. And
So, next up is Ugly Mug from Great Britain.
Mug.
I don't know what to say about Ugly Mug, other than it has to be the Monty Python of comic books. It's just amazing.
Yeah. It comes from Harley Richardson, and this comes from
the House of Harley.
The House of Harley in the United Kingdom, London, UK, it says here.
It's 100 pages, 100 pages.
pages.
It's huge. You know, it's a big book. 100 pages, and it's $16.95 from Lulu, the printer.
Yeah.
And I'll have that information down below. It's a little complicated to talk about. I'll try and get the correct information in the description where you can get this.
I think this is some of Harley's own artwork right here.
I think that's some of Harley's work. Yeah. There's a lot of artists in here. He has different artists each time he publishes. And there's a lot of art comics in here.
Yeah.
Like this.
Arty stuff like that. Just,
lots of art comics.
Might not seem to make any sense, but
some of it
really cool to look at.
Yeah, some of it is, you know, I mean, you'll have a whole page of these figure drawings with not much narrative. Some of them, other ones like this in here don't have any narrative, and you have to figure out what it's all about. But there was one in here, one of my favorites, if I can find it. I want to show you this because these
I got several favorites in here.
Yeah. And of course I can't find it. I should have marked it, and I didn't did it.
Is it the one with the giant insects and the giant insect and the mole machine?
I don't know.
That one's pretty cool.
I don't know, but there's that's one here that
you don't always. It doesn't always tell you who drew what. You know.
No.
Well, some of them do.
Yeah. This is no.
Yeah, I love this one.
This one, yeah.
Okay, that's
Endicott, The Case of the Five Windows.
Oh yeah, this is terrific.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at. I'm on the other page.
Yeah, you're on the other page, but
this one is
really crazy. Really crazy.
That's by Ed Pinsett. So there's a guy, he's a window washer. He's way up high on a skyscraper, and he's washing the windows, and he witnesses a murder. And he's hanging on by various pulleys and things.
Yeah.
And he witnesses what seems to be a murder. And so he disappears for a little. He goes down low, then he comes back up, and every time he comes back up, he's adding cables and things. And he has an ally that pops along somewhere along the line. Where is it? I just read this last night. But it was like a detective. There's a detective, and they become allies, and they're swinging up there.
Yeah.
Back up to the window.
This is wild. It's wild.
Now, by that time, going up and down, he's attached a lot of pulleys in there. He started one cable, one pulley, and now it's getting really complex.
Really crazy, yeah.
They're trying to get to this. They're trying to get to the truth of the matter. What happened, and it kind of. I don't want to give away the ending.
Here's the one
funny.
Here's the one I was looking at, and I wish you had your mask on, because this is Victor Frankenstein retired. Victor Frankenstein retired. But I like this guy's art. I just like the way he draws.
Yeah.
Look at that. Very cool. I like
that too. That's very undergroundish. You know what?
Yeah. In
America, that would be underground.
I would think, yeah.
Here, and
his name is John Bagnall. This is John Bagnall's art.
Yeah.
And it's
really good.
It's really cool. It's only these 2 pages. That's all. This is the whole story right here.
Yeah.
But cool.
Bagnall.
Just kind of cool. Yeah.
There's a lot of great talent in here. There was another one towards the later in the issue. That's the one I mentioned about the insects and stuff. Let me see. Wendy Wilberforce.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And this one is several pages long, and it's crazy.
And then you will have stuff like this in there on this page here.
Mm-hmm.
That you'll have things like that in there thrown in. I don't know what that is. It's abstract art.
And the one on the other page you're showing there, smoked out shining.
Yeah.
That one's pretty. That's interesting as well. It involves a woman who has this gigantic hairdo. It looks like smoke. They're calling it a smoke bush in here. You know, how'd you get the smoke bush?
It's a very strange term.
It's really big. It kind of comes to, well, they even make a little joke, or maybe a little kinky somewhere along there.
Okay.
But that's towards the end of the story. But she's got this big hairdo, this gigantic.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm picking up. Okay.
I see it. Yeah.
Gigantic hairdo. It looks like smoke, like it's made out of smoke.
Here's one of these no word page. No words, just.
Oh, that's the one with full male nudity.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what was going on there, but somebody
make sure that the kids don't get a hold of this. Now, there's not a lot of that stuff in here, but this particular one does have that.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed. You'll notice it when you go into the issue. You go like, oh, what's this?
Oops, yeah.
So yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's still cool. It's still cool. You know.
Now look at this. This is in here, and it's just art. Period. Just art.
Psychedelic.
Yeah, psychedelic art. Yeah.
There's very creative. There's tons of
all kinds of stuff, all kinds of stories and
ugly mug.
Yeah.
So this is the second issue that Harley has sent to us.
Yes, but there are a number of issues. If you look back here,
yeah, they have back issues available.
Back issues. I think there's a T-shirt, poster, all kinds of merchandise. It's the House of Harley.
House of Harley.
Yeah.
Remember the last time he sent it? The first time he sent the original, the last ugly mug. It was waterlogged.
Oh yeah.
It was fallen into a swamp or something.
Both of us got a copy that was you couldn't even open it.
It was all
soaked.
The pages were stuck together.
I think they dragged it across the ocean from Great Britain.
Right. They didn't ship it. They didn't mail it. They just
drag it under the boat.
Dragged it along the ocean.
Right, and it didn't work.
Then Harley was gracious.
Yep.
To send us replacement copies, and we so appreciate that.
I mean, that's really, because this thing is not cheap.
No.
It's not cheap to make, and that's a big book.
Yeah. It's quality. It's
Yep. It's different. It's got all kinds of stuff, and it lists all the artists in here. And if you're in Great Britain, you may know some of these guys. We don't know them, but they're all listed in here.
Yeah, and, it would be interesting to collaborate with some of these guys. Now that he's touched base.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. Yeah.
Possibly we could get some of these people and we could work together and make some really cool comics.
That would really be a good idea. I'd like to do that. I was
thinking about that. I'd like to collaborate with Harley or any of these other guys. So Harley, if you're watching this, and I hope you are, we're I could see us doing some work together,
Mm-hmm.
But you really pulled out the stops. This is better than the last issue, and it's really a great issue. It's very.
It really is, yeah. Yeah.
Larned said 100 pages.
100 pages.
You get your money's worth. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, for $16.65. I've seen a couple different prices on this, but I think $16.65 is a pretty good price.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll make sure that before I put anything in the description down below the video, make sure I have it right. So, good old Ugly Mug is
Ugly Mug.
Is just something that is really different. So
this is an ugly mug too. You know that.
I see that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hope you can find a way to get a copy of that. I think you'll get a kick out of it. So that's kind of all we have for today.
Almost.
Um, have you got something?
Well, I'll mention a couple things really quick.
I'm just saying that's all the comics we
Yeah.
have as far as
Our
I know.
pal, our pal J.E Carrales
Mm-hmm.
III, who published Marie Selinsky and the Wonder Kitty, which we reviewed before.
Right,
He
right.
just became a member of the United Fanzine organization. He just
Ah,
joined the group. So he's already working on a new book that's going to be a UFO title.
oh,
And of
great.
course, his book's in full color. We love the guy, and
Yeah.
just wanted to mention him. Just toss that out there, Joe. I know you're watching, and welcome to the UFO.
There you go. Yeah.
That's a personally indulgent thing because I'm the
Mm-hmm.
chairman of the UFO. I
Yeah.
also received, Larned hasn't gotten a copy yet, but the latest Yeet Presents, which was
Oh, yeah. I
the
thought that was
Halloween.
coming. Okay.
Yeah, I think Larned is going to get a copy, and we can
Should be
talk
in our
about that
next,
next time.
if we
The
get a couple
Halloween
more
special.
things, it'll be in our
Yeah.
next video.
So
And
I'm
make
looking
sure
forward to
you,
stuff like this.
yeah. I was trying to think of the name of that guy. I can't say it, but
Nosferatu.
there you go. Yeah. Um, so make sure you subscribe because if you subscribe and you hit that little bell notification, it'll tell you when our next video is up and you can watch it. So keep that in mind. Once again, I mentioned in the beginning, make a comment. We like to respond to your comments. So go
Oh
ahead and
yeah,
do
and
that.
you're there. You got a coat on. You got a
Mm-hmm.
hat on.
Yeah.
I got a T-shirt on.
He's in
What's
Florida.
what's going on? That's
Yeah.
what I want to know. I'm checking the weather here in
Oh,
Florida
okay. I was gonna say,
on my phone here.
mm-hmm.
What did you say the temperature is there?
31 degrees here in
31 degrees.
just outside of St. Louis in Missouri, and an inch of snow on the grass.
We just had a hurricane this week.
He had
Came
a
by really
he had a
quick.
hurricane.
Hurricane Nicole, and
Mm-hmm.
the people I work with have no mercy. They didn't shut down. I had to go to work, the
Gotta
whole
work
deal. And
work right through the hurricane. In
hurricane
case
winds.
yeah, in case somebody had to come in and get a Band-Aid, uh, you
and
guys were open.
it is 82 degrees
82.
in Central Florida right now.
That's nice. 82.
That's kind of why I'm here. I love the weather, and I love Central Florida. It's a great place to live.
Yes, it is. And Missouri is normally okay unless it's 30 degrees and snowing. So,
We'll be getting together in Ohio pretty soon for the
yes, we
space con.
will. We're going to go to space in Ohio in May.
May. Okay.
Yeah,
I need to go ahead and get a ticket for that.
I got
So
to
we're
figure
gonna
out
be
how I'm going to get there.
there.
I don't know. I would like to drive if I had somebody to ride with me.
Um,
But if I don't, then my wife would like me to fly. So,
yeah, I'll be flying. I mean, it's a long drive from here to there. It's like
yeah,
3,000 miles or something. So,
yeah, yeah.
whew,
It's an all-day drive from here.
yeah.
All day, yeah.
I have an
So,
old car, and you know what? I got one more car payment. I only owe
hmm
$336 on this car, and it's paid off. So I'm going to pay that off next week, and after that, it's going to start breaking down, guaranteed.
Well, why don't you buy a Corvette?
Yeah,
There's only
sure.
one of you,
I should
and
buy an airplane. I could buy a helicopter, whatever,
yeah.
something nice.
Hmm. Well,
Corvette.
I think we're descending into silliness now. So I think it's
Well, we
time.
started that way too,
Yes, we
It's like,
did. And I see the mask laying behind you there,
yeah,
right there.
yep. So, yeah, it also works as a puppet.
Yeah, you can talk to him. There
How's
you
it
go.
going? How's it going, Frank?
Hey, Frank.
Pretty good, man. How
Oh,
you doing? Yeah.
a ventriloquist. That I did not know. Pretty
Yeah.
darn good.
Yeah, we're pretty darn talented people.
You're
That's for
not kidding. Yep.
sure. Are we done or
So,
what?
so I think we better say goodbye, and
All
we
right.
will see you next time right here in this same place. So,
You bet.
all right.
Adios.
Goodbye.